Hi, I am Monasri Chattopadhyay. Welcome to my channel eTutor Monasri. In this video, we will discuss about computer hardware and computer software. When we think about computers, the first thing that flashes in our mind that is the general purpose computer or personal computer or PC that we use in our home, school or college, hospitals, office, banks or supermarkets. A personal computer may be a desktop computer, a laptop, all-in-one PC, MacBook, tablet or a handheld PC. But there is a more different type of computers that we are not discussing here. We can discuss those in my later videos. The basic parts of desktop computer are the input device, that is keyboard, mouse, then the processing and storing unit of computer inside the cabinet, and display unit or output device, that is printer and monitor. So, starting with the input devices, an input device is any hardware component that allows the user to enter data or instructions into the computer. There are many input devices. The most common input devices are keyboard and mouse. Keyboard. The keyboard is just like a typewriter with some added keys given for performing additional purposes. There are different types of keys exists in keyboard. Typing keys, alphabet keys, that is A to Z, and number keys, that is 0 to 9. Function keys. A standard keyboard has 12 function keys from F1 to F12 that are used for specific purposes. Control or navigation keys. Every keyboard has some special screen control or navigation keys such as arrow keys, home key, end key, control or CTRL key, alt key, escape, page up, page down, delete, insert, etc. Special character and operator keys. These are special character and operator keys. Special purpose keys. Keyboard has more special keys such as enter, spacebar, caps lock, num lock, backspace, shift, tab, sleep, print screen, pause, etc. Then numeric keypad. These are quick reference keys. Numbers, operator keys, arrow keys, etc. Mouse. Another common computer input hardware device is mouse. The mouse is the most popular pointing, selecting and cursor control device. Mouse senses the movement and sends corresponding signals to the CPU when the mouse buttons are pressed. Generally, mouse has 2 buttons and 1 wheel. The touchpad is another pointing device feature for laptops. Except this, we also have some prominent presence of input devices like microphones, scanner, graphic tablet, barcode reader, etc. Now let's discuss computer case or tower case or cabinet and the parts inside it. A typical desktop computer cabinet is the metal or plastic box containing the main components of the computer, that is, the power supply, motherboard, CPU, RAM, hard disk drive, that is HDD, or solid state device, that is SSD, and graphics cards. These are fundamental parts of any desktop computer. Maybe it seems daunting to deal with at first. I will request to stay with me to the end of this video. It will not be that complex anymore. The front of the case usually has a power button, a reset button, USB ports and audio panel. Cabinet come in different shapes and sizes. All-in-one computers come with the internal components attached with the display unit, which eliminates the requirement for a separate case. For the laptops, also these components are summed in a single unit. Let's dive in brief into these different components of cabinets. Let's start with power supply unit. The power supply unit or switch mode power supply or SMPS supplies the power needed by the computer. This unit sends power through the cable to the motherboard and the other components. For sudden power cut, we need some power stabilization mechanism. So, in PC, we generally connect the SMPS to UPS or uninterruptible power source with a power cord. For laptop, there is always a battery to mitigate this problem. Next, motherboard. The motherboard is the computer's main circuit board that serves as a single platform to connect all the parts of a computer. It is considered as the backbone of a computer. A motherboard has random access memory or RAM slots, central processing unit or CPU sockets, expansion card slots, storage connectors, power connectors, heatsink or cooling system. Except this, motherboard also consists of chipset, basic input-output system or BIOS chip, clock generator, etc. The motherboard allocates power and allows communications between all the major components like CPU, RAM and all the other computer hardware components via ribbon cables. There are peripheral card slot in front of the motherboard using which video cards, sound cards and other expansion cards can be connected. Also, the motherboards carry several ports to connect the monitor, printer, mouse, keyboard, speaker and network cables. Motherboards also provide USB ports, which allow compatible devices to be connected in a plug-in plug-out fashion. For example, pen drives, mobile phones, digital cameras, etc. If you think it is too much information, please pause and replay at any time to understand it better. Next, CPU. The central processing unit, that is CPU, is considered as the brain of the computer. Most calculations take place in the CPU. It is also called a processor. It fits into the motherboard's CPU socket. In terms of computing power, the CPU is the most important element of computer system. A processor's speed is measured in megahertz or million instructions per second and gigahertz or billions instructions per second. A faster processor can execute instructions more quickly. Next, random access memory or RAM. RAM is the temporary storage for data and programs accessed by the CPU. RAM is volatile memory. So, whenever your computer performs calculations, it temporarily stores the data in the RAM and is erased when the data is no longer needed or the computer is powered off. RAM space is measured in megabytes or MB or gigabytes or GB. More RAM also enhances system performance. Because of this, many people add extra RAM to their computers to improve performance. The maximum amount of RAM that can be installed is limited by the motherboard. Next, hard disk drive or HDD and solid state drive or SSD. The hard disk drive or HDD is a non-volatile data storage device. This is a permanent storage. So, the data is saved even if you turn off the computer. It is usually installed internally, directly to the disk controller of the computer's motherboard. The motherboard contains one or more slots for HDD and housed inside an air-sealed casing. Data is written to the platters using a magnetic head, which moves rapidly over them as they spin. Actually, when you run a program or open a file, the computer copies some of the data from the hard drive onto the RAM. Again, when you save a file, the data is copied back to the hard drive. The faster the hard drive, the faster your computer can start up and load programs. Modern computers often use an SSD or solid-state drive as the primary storage device instead of an HDD. SSD is mainly IC-based storage and less susceptible to physical damage, and it is faster than physical spinning disk drive, that is HDD. Next, graphics cards. The graphics cards, also known as the video cards, is responsible for rendering any graphics, that is image or video, to your monitor. It does this by converting data into a signal which your monitor can understand. Therefore, a better graphics card helps to produce smoother image or video in the monitor. This is very important for gamers and video editors. Now let's discuss about the output unit of the computer. The first thing which comes to mind as output is display, that is monitor. Monitor. A monitor is an electronic output device that shows information in pictorial form. Previously, monitor used to use CRT, that is cathode ray tube displays. CRT monitors are much larger and heavier, and they take up more desk space. But nowadays, monitors usually have an LCD, that is liquid crystal display, or LED, that is light emitting diode display. This type of monitors are made very thin and they are often called flat panel displays. Most of the monitors have control buttons that allow changing the monitor's display settings. Recent days, monitors are also having built-in speakers and webcams in it. Some other output devices are printer, which is used to print any data, speakers or headphone for audio output, and projector also for visual output. Now let's discuss the computer software. The computer is a combination of hardware and software. Computer hardware and software are complementary and cannot act independently of one another. To run a computer, hardware and software must work together. Computer software. The computer software is a set of programs or computer instruction that tells the computer how to work. Computer software programming code executed on computer processor and make the hardware run. There are two types of softwares: system software and application software. Let's first discuss about the system software. System software serves as the interface between the hardware and the end users, and it is designed to provide a platform for running application software. Few of the common system software examples are different types of operating systems, that is MS Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, Android, Ubuntu, etc. Another type of system software, hardware device drivers, that requires to connect different hardware with the system. For example, BIOS driver, USB drivers, motherboard drivers, sound card driver, display drivers, VGA drivers, printer drivers, etc. Next is firmware. Firmware is a permanent software embedded in the system's read-only memory, and it is an essential part of the hardware. For example, embedded systems, BIOS, ARCs, etc. Another type of system software is utility software. Utility software is designed to help to configure, analyze, optimize, or to maintain a computer. Softwares like disk cleanup, defragmenters, compression tools, antivirus softwares, file management tools, uninstall manager, etc. are the utility softwares. Now let's discuss about the application software. A software which is developed to help the user to perform specific tasks is called the application software. Application software may consist of a single program. such as a notepad for writing and editing a simple text. It may also consist of a collection of programs or software package. For example, Microsoft Office, which includes Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Paint, and Access for Windows. Few commonly known application softwares are Adobe Photoshop, VLC Media Player, Google Chrome, Visual Studio, Picasa, Skype, and many more. So this was about computer hardware and computer software. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and comment. If you are new to my channel, please do press the subscribe button. Please don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications of my latest uploads.